Hi, everybody. Kathy and Mark from Cinemondo with another trailer review. This one, um, ripped from the headlines. This is a film
Indeed.
about a figure that is in our lives, sadly. The film is
Very
called
divisive.
Very divisive.
Yes.
And the film's called The Apprentice, which is a great sort of play on words based on the reality show that Donald Trump was a part of for many years. But this has to do with Donald Trump's early life, where he was really the apprentice to
Yeah.
Roy Cohn, who was this famous prosecuting attorney who started back in the McCarthy era, and he was just this real tough cracker. He was just a nut.
Yes.
And he's played by Jeremy Strong. Sebastian Stan plays Trump, and it's directed by Ali Abbasi and written by Gabriel Sherman. And it's
Okay.
about Trump's sort of, early rise in, the world of real estate and all the stuff that he got involved with in New York City. And it was a movie that was supposed to be released earlier this year. I mean, it went to Cannes and Telluride and all these festivals, but the Trump campaign or Trump team tried to stop its release. Eventually, they found a distributor, and it's going to be released October 11th. Finally, it could have been released a lot earlier. I love Sebastian Stan. He's always good. And
I loved him in Fresh, that movie where he played like kind of a Ted Bundy type serial killer. He was amazing.
Right.
I like that he's able to channel this charming, good looking thing and then exhibit kind of this slow burn kind of psychopathy. And in this one, it's less of a charming, nice guy, more of a terrible person. And he's also channeling the sociopathic qualities of a person. So I love that he can do that, because he's doing that weird balancing act where you like him, you're attracted to him. He has a very friendly, affect. And he was also in the Pam and Tommy, which was amazing.
He played
He was great
Tommy
in
Lee.
that. Like, he's such a good actor. So
he's
I
kind of
love
a
him.
chameleon. Yeah.
I'm a little afraid to see him as this, though, I have to admit. But I do love that Jeremy Strong, coming straight from Succession, where he was so good as like a total hapless asshole. Yeah. And then, Rich, wanting to take over his father's business, very similar, like kind of like that kind of power hungry kind of, character. I love he's bringing that to this, because he's so good at that. Like he has so many levels. He's such a great actor. So he made Succession so fun to watch.
Without question. So let's take a look at the trailer for The Apprentice.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Hello, this is Donald Trump from Mr. Cohn. Thank you so much.
Donald who?
1, 2, 3, 4!
Roy Cohn, nice to meet you.
The Roy Cohn, you're brutal.
Guilty as charged.
How do you always win?
There's rules. The first rule is attack, attack, attack.
It's going to be the finest building in the city, maybe the country, in the world.
Rule 2, admit nothing, deny everything.
There's never been anything like this, of this magnitude, this quality. Ooh, cheese balls over here.
What are you doing?
You want one?
No, it looks totally disgusting.
Cheese balls.
Rule 3, no matter what happens, you claim victory and never admit defeat. You have to be willing to do anything to anyone to win. You have a big ass. You gotta work on that.
Your face looks like an orange.
Attack, attack, attack.
Deny everything.
Admit nothing.
Never admit defeat.
What if you lost your fortune today?
Well, then maybe I'll run for president. I don't know.
I say, if you're indicted, you're invited.
Oh my God.
Wow. Well, that hits all the points, doesn't it? About
does it ever?
Deny, you have to be ruthless. I mean, this movie is basically telling us that Roy Cohn made Donald Trump, turn him from this kind of like doughy rich boy who was sort of like whatever, and said, I'm gonna mold you and turn you into what you will become and have become.
Yep. And also giving him that mantra that he's always, carried with him, which is deny everything, admit nothing. It's like, so that's sort of where he's at. I mean, no matter how strong the evidence, no matter how much he's confronted, even by his own words, he will deny. So
He will deny.
Fake. It's not true. So you see this happening early on. It's like he was training him to be a con man. Which he kind of was. Like part of The Apprentice was also a con. A lot of articles have come out about The Apprentice. The showrunners talking about like the NDAs ran out, so they're able to talk about it and what the whole like thing was just a scam. Basically, it was Trump barely was even there. He could barely get the lines out. Like everything about it is just so classic Trump. Just
And I was going to say this is like. Of course, that's like that because that's what it is. Whether it's Trump Steaks or Trump University or anything Trump, it's just like a slipshod thing. But he continues to say it's the greatest thing, it's the best thing. I win always. That's what it is, and now we have to deal with that. But I think this looks like an entertaining movie. Might sort of like be hard to sort of sit there because where it goes, in real life. But I like the actors. It feels like it'd be an interesting sort of, look into his life if you're willing to go there. I guess that's
it's true. I mean, it looks like Sebastian Stan's having fun with it. I like when he's like pursing his lips all the time and the kind of sly looks, and it looks like it'll be a fun role for him. I might be able to see it after the election, depending on how it turns out. I don't know if I can see it before the election. It'd be interesting to see what the box office will be for this because there's a lot of interest, a lot of name value, a lot of great actors, prestige project. But I mean, I feel like there's such an overload, saturation overall, and just the zeitgeist of it all that
maybe nobody wants to deal with
it right now.
Yeah, do I want to spend $18 to go see that, or should I just wait till, like you said, after the election if things go a certain way? I also like that Sebastian Stan doesn't try to do a Trump imitation. Yes. He's just sort of talking with a slight, affectation towards what Trump might have sounded like back, 30, 40 years ago, as opposed to the Trump, impression that people do.
That's right. And I like the sort of 80s. They did a great job with the wardrobe and making it feel like the 80s. The punk rock song helps. I'm sure that Trump heard that song or anything like it. But it wasn't. I love seeing that. All the women in his life coming through. But here we go. All right, here's a poster.
Well, there you go. The gold.
The gold chair. All I see is gold toilet. I can't not see that.
Gold toilet. But Cohn behind him is, of course, not in gold, but he's sort of like the puppet master. He's there with he's like the marionette with the strings. And interesting that you have the Statue of Liberty and a telephone, off to the side.
Yeah, and then what's on the right? Oh, New York skyline, and a little flag down there. Yeah. It's an interesting choice to have it all gold, but then he has kind of almost his normal head on. I mean, it's sort of gold, but not. And then the fact that Ray Cohn is, or Jeremy Strong is in there, sort of looking a little fake, but painted. It's like it's a very odd. I know it probably was all gold at one time, and then they were like, they're unrecognizable. Let's bring it back a little bit. Let's distinguge, Jeremy Strong.
You got to have the red tie, and of course his hair is, Trump's hair there is golden, right. Yeah. So
and they didn't want to give up on the concept, but the concept didn't quite work as all gold. So they had to make these things that sort of take some of the power out of it. But it's got everything shiny. It's pretty interesting though. It's a cool iconic cell. I don't know why there's no shadows under it. It's weird. It's kind of floating, but who am I?
Yeah.
But but an interesting poster. It's hard to get concepts like this through. So I mean, as it comes to a topic like this, you probably would want to go more stylized because you don't want to just see it. A Trump character on a poster.
Exactly. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion when the movie comes out. I'm sure there'll be all the sides. There'll be a talking points, which is always good for a film. Whether it does good at the box office, we'll see. But that's The Apprentice.
How factual do you think this will be?
Just in time for Halloween. That's all I got to say.
Exactly. All right. Let us know your comments, what your thoughts about this movie, and try to keep it civil. And then we will talk to you guys later.
Bye, everybody.